Good evening, everyone, and welcome to yet another very exciting session with Suresh Kochattil ji. Welcome, Suresh ji.
Thank you for having me on, Jaydev.
Yeah, yeah. So, as we speak, friends, that Rahul Gandhi just recently has alleged that the BJP is proposing the elimination of the constitution that grants equal rights to all and vote to create a system of opposition's resistance that will succeed in removing the party from power. So he is trying each and everything to take pot shots at the BJP. He was recently visited Germany, and according to Gaurav Bhatia, there was a photograph of Rahul Gandhi with Cornelia Wohl, president of the Berlin-based Hertie School, and this is supposed to be financed, by the Soros Open Society Foundation, and Wohl is a trustee of the Central European University. So a lot of things are happening, Sureshi.
Yeah, I think by now it's no rocket science to know that what Rahul Gandhi does every time he goes abroad. He makes it a point to meet these people and makes it a point to even take a photograph with them because he knows that back home somebody will track it and somebody will say this is XYZ person. The reason is that the amount of funding that they get from these organizations, directly or indirectly, into many NGOs in India, including Rahul Gandhi's Indian National Congress, is phenomenal. And that is the reason why he has to make an appearance, show his face there, say that India is in danger, India's electoral system has collapsed, Modi is running a dictatorship, and XYZ and all that kind of stuff. This is what he does. This is nothing surprising about it, be it in Thailand, be it in Cambodia, be it in London, or be it in the US, or even now that he's done in Germany. The most surprising thing is that he goes there and says that the Indian manufacturing system has collapsed. Remember that dialogue? And where does he go? He goes to the BMW factory and makes this claim. And look at that, he sits on a motorbike. It's all perfectly synchronized. His team is there to take the photographs, his team is there to take the video, and all to make sure that this image goes to India and it shows that Rahul Gandhi is so seriously interested in the manufacturing sector in India, which he has zero knowledge about. He doesn't know that BMW has a factory in India, in Chennai, and they've been there for quite some time. And they have sold phenomenal number of cars in India. How did they sell it? Is the manufacturing sector of India collapsed? That's a question I have for Rahul Gandhi. The second thing, he says that in the Indian ecosystem, is far, far behind China. And this is said it before also. Who's at fault? Till about 20, 25 years ago, India and Chinese GDP was at the same level. The license raj of Congress and the corruption with the kind of few industrialists by giving them the licenses. It was Indira Gandhi, later Rajiv Gandhi, and then, of course, we know right down to Manmohan Singh, that certain favorites of the Congress were given licenses to do what they want, others were not. Today, the Indian economy is opened up, and just last month, November, export figures show that despite the tariff, India is far, far ahead now. And that is the most important thing, Jaydev. India is far, far ahead in terms of our exports to US have increased, not decreased. Our number two partner in exports is UAE. And who's the number three partner in terms of export? The maximum exports we carried out over 90% year on year is China. And China replaces Netherlands as India's top bucket there. So Rahul Gandhi going abroad is a deliberate statement. And funnily enough, his own party members are now saying that Priyanka Vadra is a better bet than Rahul Gandhi. Because Rahul Gandhi is a reluctant politician. He likes his chamchas being around. He doesn't like anybody questioning him. If anybody questions him or his competence, they're thrown out of the party immediately. And we've seen that numerous examples of it. And this is the trait that the family has, right from Indira Gandhi's time. When K. Kamaraj, Nijalingappa and all walked out of Indian National Congress and formed their own party. And that's exactly that way it's continued all along the way. Today, Jitin Prasada is in BJP. Today, there are many Congress leaders who moved to BJP. Tom Wadakan, for example, who I wouldn't say leader, but he was kind of a kitchen cabinet of Sonia Gandhi, and he is in BJP today. Uh, the grandson of Chakravarti Rajgopalachari, Keshavan, is in BJP today. Everybody is here. This is the problem. The moment somebody in Sidhu's wife makes an allegation that 400 crores goes to Sonia Gandhi, and she nominates the Haryana leader, CM, or whoever it is, or rather the Punjab CM, that is it. All hell breaks loose. And this is what it is all about. That Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, nobody likes to be questioned. In fact, I'm reading a very interesting book by Chitra Subramaniam recently, which she published, which is on the Bofors case. And she point blank in the interview with Sunil Unithan says it was Sonia Gandhi who took the bribes in the Bofors case through Ottavia Kotrauchi, who is a relative. And poor Rajiv Gandhi had to pay with his political career for that because the poor man had no voice at home. She was dictating everything. She took the bribes, and we all know why. That's the main thing. And so, if Rahul Gandhi goes abroad, goes to Germany, goes elsewhere, and meets all these people, I'm not surprised because every time he comes back, there is a conspiracy theory that he spins, there is a riot that breaks out, and all that stuff. But does he win elections? No, he doesn't. Now, John Brittas, who's a CPM leader, who's the ex-media guy of CPM, who he used to head the Kerala channel, he is asking Rahul Gandhi, his alliance partner, of course, outside Kerala. Inside Kerala, they're fighting like dogs, but outside Kerala, they are alliance partners. He says, how come Rahul Gandhi is missing when there are important debates going on in the parliament? Doesn't Rahul Gandhi know the schedule of the calendar of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha? Why is it that Germany is so important that he considers going there more important than attending debates in parliament? If you observe Rahul Gandhi Jaydev, he doesn't like being spoken to. He only likes to speak. And he plays to the camera. What he says is absolutely hogwash. But when somebody replies to him, and somebody goes back and tells him that the emperor has no clothes, and then he kind of gets out of parliament, he does a walkout and all that stuff. He doesn't like being shown the mirror. He doesn't like to see the truth. All he does is vote chori, vote chori, vote chori, and vote chori. And people are sick and tired of that. The Supreme Court is sick and tired. The Supreme Court has said so many times, we've given you enough opportunities to come and produce the proof and file an affidavit. No, nothing is being done. So in a way, if you ask me, it's excellent that Rahul Gandhi goes abroad. Rahul Gandhi meets all these people because that exposes him in his true sense of the word. Jaydev, I think your voice is muted.
Yeah, also the fact that all these other cases, like the National Herald case or the citizenship, the British citizenship case, it keeps getting transferred to other courts, and nothing, no action is being done in the legal point of view. So it seems that they're not afraid of the law as well because there's not enough evidence or something, right?
No, nothing goes to be evidence. If you look at what happened to the ED case last week in the National Herald case, the Congress was celebrating as if the case has been thrown out. What was done by the court was a technicality. That ED cannot take up an action, a legal action, or file a charge sheet unless they have an FIR filed by a different agency because ED cannot file a FIR by themselves. They have something called ECIR, which is sometimes accepted by the courts, but mostly not accepted by the courts. So they depend on a CBI or a state police to file an FIR, and then ED gets into action. Now, why did ED not go further beyond this? Of course, now they are going because the initial complaint was done by a kind of an ordinary person, if you can call him that, done by somebody who is not in the establishment, which is Subramaniam Swamy. It's a private complaint. So the court held that the private complaint doesn't have an FIR based on it. You have to get an FIR to go after it. But the way the Congress ecosystem created the hype that the case is gone, Amit Shah has to resign, Modi has to resign. The case is still going on. It was only a technicality, and now that technicality has been corrected now. In fact, the ED could have gone to the higher court and said that we have ECIR, which is equivalent to an FIR, but they didn't do it, and they would obviously go back to the Delhi Special Economic Offences Wing, which has already filed an FIR in this case. So, but at the same time, I'm with you in this fact that the Narendra Modi government seems to be going very, very soft on Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi and others. They can easily kind of slap the cases against them. But then the point is, they might be thinking, why should we give this guy or that lady additional publicity? Because the moment you do that, they will claim immediately that it is political vendetta. Buying a 50 lakh company, buying a 50 lakh investment to buy a 2000 crore company is not a scam. The Bofors was not a scam. The Commonwealth Games was not a scam. The coal was not a scam. The 2G was not a scam. How many scams did we see during the UPR? And who made the money? It's very, very obvious. It is not Raja who made money in 2G. It was he kept 20% or 25% for himself and his party, and the rest was all distributed. And this is what was done. We know who made money in all these scams. The point is, I'm again coming back to yes, I agree with you. The Modi government is not aggressive. Maybe there's a reason for that. There's a method in the madness of not doing it. And maybe they're giving the long rope to Rahul Gandhi to hang himself with it. That is what is being done in legal parlance, that is. And surely enough, this particular complaint which you have seen of Subramaniam Swamy will now go to the Delhi Economic Offences Wing, and from there ED will pick it up, because this is a cross-nation transaction that has happened. The money is traveled out of India, the 2,000 crores or the 190 crores rent that was collected from all the organizations which are sitting in the offices of National Herald, which is the defunct newspaper now, has gone abroad, traveled back to India via the Hawala route or the FDI route, which is the Mauritius route. And there are very clear evidences for that. That is why the ED is there. CBI cannot investigate such an offense. Let us see in the days to come how things pan out from here, Jay.
How do you see the situation in Karnataka? Because it's a very volatile situation for Congress.
I think what is happening in Karnataka, finally, I saw other day Siddaramaiah making a statement saying it is the High Command who will take a decision, or rather, even Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge said. And just the other day, Siddaramaiah said 2 or 3 days ago that look, it will be Rahul Gandhi who will take a decision. Now imagine the decision is taken by an individual for the entire party. Where is the inner party democracy in this? Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge is a rubber stamp. He cannot even issue a B form. That is his pathetic state. It is people like K.C. Venugopal and others who are running the show in Congress, which is why the Congress is a disaster today. So imagine what was Ahmed Patel before, is K.C. Venugopal now. And there's a world of difference between Ahmed Patel and K.C. Venugopal in terms of political experience. This guy is an absolute novice. He's a joker. And the reason why Rahul Gandhi puts people like K.C. Venugopal in his office, because he wants to feel superior, that these people are idiots, and that is why he doesn't want to do anything with it.
Yeah, so do you see DK Shivakumar somehow becoming the CM?
Well, it all depends on if DK Shivakumar has got the guts to walk out of Congress. He doesn't have the guts because his umbilical cord is tied with the Congress in terms of its financing. He has given a lot of money to the party, crores and crores, hundreds of crores. He has channeled to, because there are two ATMs for the Congress. One is in Telangana and others in Karnataka. And DK Shivakumar personally is also a person who has lots of money, and he is funneling those money back into the Indian National Congress and to the powers in Delhi and who sit and control the entire party. The money is going to them directly, and that is what the main thing is, Jaydev. And DK Shivakumar clearly knows that what he's doing will upset him if he's removed from the party or if he's removed from power, and that is what is going to happen.
Right. So, with regards to the next point is with regards to the SIR, and Mamata Banerjee has accused the shameless election commission. This is how she said, and over the SIR, and also she mocked Gyanesh Kumar as Vanish Kumar and questioned the draft roles. And so she is very perturbed by the SIR because she knows that in the next election, BJP has a good chance, isn't it?
See, Jaydev, it is the same case with Rahul Gandhi as with Mamata Banerjee. In other states, including Rajasthan, there have been 41 lakh people who got removed from Rajasthan. Gujarat saw a huge dip in the number of voters who have been removed. How come only Mamata Banerjee is upset? Is it because she's upset that her constituency or her vote bank is getting deleted? If she has a legal chance, let her go and challenge this in the High Court, Kolkata High Court, or the Supreme Court. She will not do it because this is a very, very scientific process. There is a 2002 electoral rolls, and you have to link it up with that and prove that you or your father or your mother or some relative was there in the 2002 rolls. The point is very simple. They don't exist. This is what happening in West Bengal. They just don't exist. And she is trying rather, to kind of go after the election commission, which will not give her any result. She can threaten them as much as she wants. The Supreme Court has already warned before that if any election commission official, including a BLO, is threatened, the central forces can step in. She's also threatening the observers, the micro observers, and the observers, including senior IAS officers from other states. She says BJP is sending them. Boss Election Commission is sending them. And if you have a problem, go to the court and stop them. She will not, because she'll get slapped to the court. With the legal slap she will get, saying, go back and do your job. I'm challenging, I'm telling you, this is something that BJP should also be doing, challenging Mamata Banerjee every way. Prove that, that entire electoral rolls that she had all along was fake. There are going to be crore of voters, 1 crore 10 lakh voters who are in excess in West Bengal, as per a study that was published in what newspaper? The Telegraph and the Hindu, both of which are anti-Modi. They published a study saying there are 1 crore 10 lakh excess voters in West Bengal electoral rolls. And that is a true figure. Right now, it's only 58 lakhs who have been removed, but there are more than 1 crore 25 lakh people who have been called for hearing. And they will have to prove that they do exist compared to the 2002 rolls. And that is going to be a tough task, Jaydev. And Mamata Banerjee has every reason to go mad because her entire electoral fortunes is slipping right under her feet. Look at each of the constituencies in Kolkata city, around Kolkata city. What is happening? Because there the maximum number of deletions of electoral rolls is happening, lakh, 50,000, 70,000. And that is worrying Mamata Banerjee like hell because the ground is slipping under her feet. And we know what happened in Bihar. This is going to be a tough task. I'm doing an analysis to see, it'll take me some time now, at least 10 or 15 days, to see what are the winning margins in each of the constituency where the number of voters have decreased. And if the winning margins are more, less than the number of voters deleted, then we will have an answer whether Mamata Banerjee can get those 215 seats, which she got last time, or BJP can go from the 77 seats they got last time to a magic figure, which is halfway mark. It all depends on the final rolls that we publish somewhere in February. And Mamata Banerjee can do as much as she wants, but the election commission is going as per the rules. They're following the book, and that's it. Nothing will be changing for her. She can do whatever drama she wants. Party can do whatever drama they want. The final thing is the SIR is a legal thing. The Supreme Court has held it so, and she has no choice but to follow it.
Yeah, especially with how volatile the situation is in Bangladesh right now.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
With
It all relates to that, Jaydev.
yeah, because anything can happen to Mohammed Yunus.
That see, other day, it was not in your channel, but another Telugu channel. I had said this the day that Heidi guy was killed. I said this entire murder was pre-planned to stop the election, to ensure that the BNP doesn't win, which is Khalida Zia's party. And that day, when this Heidi character was killed, the son of Zia, Khalida Zia, was supposed to land. I think he's landed today. But that day he was supposed to land in Dhaka and take over the reins of his party, I think after being out for 17 years. The government and the powers, the Jamaat-e Islami and others, including Muhammad Yunus, were scared of this fact. And they somehow wanted to postpone this election, using this as an excuse. They blamed India for it. India is least interested who gets killed in Bangladesh or who doesn't. And we are not, it's a nation that is broke with a capital B. And we don't want to get into that. Let them fight their own battle. Let them dig their own graves. We have no issues. But dragging India into this, saying the India killed that guy, sorry, boss. We go for the big fish. We don't go for small guys like Heidi and all that. We have other guys sitting across the border whom we showed what we could do with Operation Sindhu. Wiped out their entire terrorist families. And that's what we will do. These are bachas. These are small kids. We won't deal with all these characters. We have people who can do it for us. Unknown men. And they will take care of all this. The point here is very simple, Jay. There is the fact that Bangladesh is going the Pakistan way. And that should be raising certain signals. But the US is kind of looking the other way. They're kind of shutting their eyes on what is happening in Bangladesh. Is Pakistan's ISI that is actually fueling the entire thing. And sooner or later, there will be a section of people in Bangladesh, and mark my words, who will revolt against the government, Muhammad Yunus government, and throw him out. It all depends on what Jamaat Islami will do because they are technically Afghanistan in the making. And that's what they will do. The Jamaat Islami Hind is no different. They also want an Islamic rule in India. And across the border in Bangladesh, they are doing the same thing. Remember where this entire thing started? It all started because the so-called young student protesters did not want reservations for those who were with Mukti Bahini and others who got freedom for Bangladesh. They wanted the reservation to be removed, both the economic as well as educational and jobs. And that is where the entire thing started. Link that to the assassination of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Link that to the riots that resulted in Sheikh Hasina fleeing Bangladesh. Connect all the dots and you will get the answer. The entire thing has been planned down to T, but everything is going haywire right now because it's a nation that is bankrupt. It has only three major exports: textiles, it has something called shrimps, which is exporting, and jute. All these three are in doldrums. And sooner or later, mark my word, Jaydev, Mohammad Yunus who cannot even sign a check for Bangladesh, will be forced to flee, just like the fake Nobel Prize that he got for doing something which he claimed was setting the banking system different or making banking system bankable for the poor. We all know that was a Ponzi scheme. And today, his so-called bank is bankrupt. And this gentleman, Mr. Muhammad Yunus, needs to be exposed. He is a plant planted by we know who. I don't want to say that in an open forum like this, but it's very, very obvious that he was planted by some people there who wanted him to be there. People who give away Magsaysay awards and people who give away Nobel prizes. And he wanted that. And that is why he was brought in, because he gives a certain element of credibility. And imagine, I mean, these are people who claim that they know everything how to run a country and they can't even control the riots in the country. The killing of Dipu was a horror thing. And we should know what happened with the ISIS. This was an ISIS kind of killing. And sooner or later, the United States will realize this when these same guys, the same Islamists who will tie up with ISIS will go after the US forces like they did in Afghanistan, and the US will be forced to flee like they did in Afghanistan. And that will happen. Maybe it may take a couple of years, but sooner or later, the Islamization of Bangladesh will happen. Whether Pakistan will have a role in it or not is a bigger question. And that, Jaydev, will change the entire face of Bangladesh. Will Bangladesh exist as a nation after that is a question. Whether they'll break up into pieces, with Chittagong going different way, with northern Bangladesh going a different way, and of course, Dhaka and its surrounding areas saying we are different, we don't want to be with Bangladesh. That is what will happen sooner or later.
Yeah. Also, India has a lot of concern for the national security. Thanks to the volatile situation in Bangladesh as well, because Hafiz side is said to plan attacks sitting in Bangladesh. There was a report.
Yeah, see, that is what I've said. This entire thing is an ISIS game. More than the US, it is the ISIS which is playing a game there. Because, see, they will never forget the humiliation which they suffered in 71, the surrender which they had to do, 93,000 men dropping their weapons and surrendering before the Indian armed forces. That insult will never go away. They want to correct that kind of image that they did. And they will go any length to do it. And with the United States now looking the other way around, imagine the US Embassy, the UK Embassy all put out an obituary for a guy who called for the destruction of India. This is what we need to call the US ambassador and give him a dressing down, and the UK ambassador and give a dressing down, saying, how the hell do you support a guy who said that he will kind of take away those entire Northeast from India? This is what we need to ask. Suppose we do the same thing to the US tomorrow. We will support a gentleman or an organization which says that we will split US into half and sell it to Russia, or do the same with the UK when the same thing happens and say Ireland wants to separate out. Will the UK agree to it? They will holler. This is what they should have just kept neutral. They just wanted to wade into the waters, the muddy waters with the Heidi Klum. They thought they could make some political capital out of it, but they never tweeted about Deepu's killing. This is what we need to call the bluff of these organizations, of these countries, that they play in this kind of politics. And this was what India is all about. We should also play our game. We should only deal with those countries which will actually talk to us in a better manner. And if US and UK wants to go that way, so be it. We will still deal with them. We'll still have trade deals, but politically we will deal it with the way we want to, and that is what it is. If they want to say that they're going to support the terrorist in Bangladesh who call for the destruction of India, we will do the same in terms of encouraging people who want to do the same thing to the US or the UK. How will they feel then? How will the US government feel if we do the same thing that they are doing to us? This is the question we need to ask to President Trump and Keir Starmer.
Yeah. Coming to the last point, Sureshi, is that Dhruv Rathi, he has criticized Durandar, the film, accusing the film of pushing false propaganda and selling lies. So this is another one.
See, I don't know who takes Dhruv Rathi seriously. The entire thing that is, moment his video comes up, you'll see some 9 lakh views happening. It is bots. The entire thing is run by bots today. And the guys who watch him, I mean, what is wrong in Dhurandhar? Pakistan is saying it is correct. Those guys who are there are actually done this kind of stuff, and that is what Pakistan is saying. But the problem is simple. Dhruv Rathi doesn't like it. And who is Dhruv Rathi speaking for? The Indian National Congress. He's funded by them. He's funded by the Open Society Foundation. So all that crap that he talks about does good for the movie. He's another Rahul Gandhi version 2.0. That every time he talks, he gets more votes for the BJP. Every time Dhruv Rathi, it's like the Dhurandhar movie is doing even better and better and better. And that is what happened. Nothing is wrong in the movie. Everything was shown was what was right. And sure enough, Dhruv Rathi example should be set out to show how he kind of belittles India and its image. I don't know why YouTube is not asked to take down his account. We should all demand, the Indian government should straight away tell YouTube. Of course, we know who owns YouTube, but we tell the parent organization that, look, if you don't take out Dhruv Rathi's video and ban him forever because he does all this kind of stuff against India, we're going to restrict YouTube's access to India. You'll see them panicking because they get 8,000 crores worth of advertising from India. And that is the moment they will run for cover and they will ensure that this Dhruv Rathi character is taken. I don't know why the Modi government is not doing, why the Ministry of Home Affairs is not doing, why the Ministry of Information Broadcasting is not doing it. They should ban this account. Not that he cannot come another way, he will. But each way we will play a game of chess with him. If he goes this way, we will play another game. Dhruv Rathi needs to be taken down. Dhruv Rathi needs to be kind of countered, and we will counter him. A lot of us are doing it. It is not that we are not doing it. We are doing it. But the point is very simple, is that because we are not able to kind of get the same mileage, same number of bots which he's doing, which is a very, very organized one, by the way. I have my doubts whether the team in YouTube, especially some jihadi elements sitting in different countries who control the back-end algorithm, is rewriting the algorithm for them. He's doing it for Dhruv Rathi. That is why. But I never watch his videos. Never. I think once or twice I just glanced it long back, but after that I said this guy is not worth my time because the entire thing is fake. If you analyze piece by piece by piece what he does, the entire thing is a fake stuff. What is wrong in Durandar? Pakistan is saying it's correct. They were the character like that. That's what they did. And did 26/11 not happen? Did the Mumbai riots not happen? This is what we need to ask. This is exactly what they did. And when we say that parliament attack happened, he's saying parliament attack didn't happen. This guy is to be taken to task. Indian government should have gone to the court and got his account done. He should have filed for damages which are so huge that he will never dare step out and issue an international red corner notice for him that he should be wanted in India. And then you will see the entire game changing. All this so-called human rights activists will rise up for him. And the Congress party will say, oh, Modi is scared of Dhruv Rathi. Crap. He did so many other things before the 2024 elections. He tried his best, but nothing worked. He will keep trying. I think the problem is very simple, Jaydev. We are giving him more publicity. If he stop reacting to what he does, or if he stop reacting to what he says, nobody will watch him. It's only the Congress guys who will watch him, the communist guys will watch him, the jihadis in India who will watch him. Nobody else will watch him. The true Indians will never watch a crap like Dhruv Rathi. And for me, That is the most important. There are many other things, many other better things in life to watch than watching a rant by somebody sitting in Germany and claiming conspiracy theories.
Yeah. Also, one last point before we conclude is if you have seen Republic TV lately, I just noticed that Arnab has started criticizing BJP all of a sudden. Have you felt that?
Well, it all depends on the way you look at it. Okay. When Arnab praises BJP, that opposite, the connotation of that would be, the counter of that would be that he is always praising BJP. I think that is the wrong way for a media guy to work. The media should never take sides. Okay, they need to take a nationalist side. They cannot take an anti-national side like we just mentioned Dhruv Rathi or Print or Quint or Scroll or Caravan. They all do News Minute. They all are anti-national. They are against India. But the point is simple: is when the same thing happens with other organizations, and definitely when it's Arnab Goswami, a lot of people say, "Oh no, till yesterday he was praising Modi. Now what happened to him?" That's fine. You can't expect Arnab to be always working for the government. He doesn't. It is not his job to do it. Okay, he criticized Ramon Naidu when the Indigo crisis happened. His channel was banned in Andhra Pradesh. Banned. Imagine people can watch it through the OTT if they want to. You might have the maximum restrict it on cable, but they can still watch it on the DTH platforms. I mean, you cannot ban something. And the media house should criticize the government. The media house should hold Rahul Gandhi and other jokers to account. At the same time, I don't think Arnab really. You can't really say he's going against Modi government. Maybe he has a particular issue over which he'll take it, and he will kind of go after that. That's just fine with me. I don't have an issue with that. One cannot be a hypocrite. That's all I want to say. A hypocrite like Rajdeep Sardesai, who we all know takes money from the Indian National Congress and writes their stories and speaks for them. There are many like that, including the one Rabish Kumar who does that. But we will not do that kind of stuff. And that is for sure. A person like you or me, we don't take sides. We speak what we feel is right. We may be wrong, but that's our viewpoint.
Yeah. That was a fantastic session, and we will see you again next week.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thanks.
Gurudev. I'm sorry I'm in Kerala, so I kind of been shuttling around with my schedule, but I'm back on 30th in Hyderabad, and hopefully we should take it up
Sure.
from there. Thank you very much.
Uh, Thanks. Jai Hind and Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Hind. Jai Shri Ram.